Looks like I'm going to be on here by myself today. Yay, I'm no longer by myself.
Good morning.
Dude, was today's call awesome or what?
Well, I think so. I just feel like I'm starting to get some of this stuff stuck in my head because I'm continuously hearing it, which I think is important.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And we know lead gen's important. And it's that calendar. And if you're gonna be here when this all smooths over or goes over, you better double down. That's kind of what I got. Did you get anything else?
Oh man, I got the whole on page 25, the whole the tide thing really resonated with me.
Yes.
Yes. You know, because most agents, I mean, everybody, you know, rides a roller coaster. You hear that when you first get into the business, everybody rides a roller coaster, and they do really good. They have like 3-4 closings one month, and then the next 2 months they don't have any closings because they didn't lead generate during those times that they were working on all of those contracts.
Right.
You know, it's just a roller coaster. And a lot of the agents on my downline, a lot of them are newer agents. And I try to hammer into their brain, like, guys, you might, like, you have to lead generate in the morning. You have to.
Right.
Like, if you would just focus on lead generating from 9 to 12, don't negotiate, don't talk to any other agents. I don't care if you think the house is burning down, whatever. You have to lead generate from 9 to 12. You have to, you know, and if you do that and you time block, you know, you will be able, you know, to ride the waves, to steer the waves, you know, to steer the ship, you know, when there is a low tide. Because, you know, when there's a low tide, you gotta stay above water, or else you're gonna bottom out. Right. And if you bottom out, you're stuck. You're not going anywhere, you know. And it's it's so true. You know, I actually like that better than the roller coaster analogy, because if you're not paying attention, you might bottom out. You know, I mean, just think about like the Titanic.
Yeah.
Right? They're just going full stream ahead. They were not paying attention to where they were going, and they hit the iceberg. All right, they were just going too fast, and they hit the iceberg. Sometimes I feel like that I'm just going too fast and I'm not paying attention, you know, to my surroundings. You know, we have to, and it's so important right now with all the time that we have on our hands, that we are doing the right activities and we're paying attention to what's going on around us, that we don't hit an iceberg and we don't bottom out, you know, with low tide. You know, that was pretty powerful. And the whole, you know, your success in life is determined by how well you follow a schedule. You know, like yesterday, like I, you know, got that Spokio that you know, Matt shared with us yesterday, and I got so caught up in in older expireds that I was like, it was just taking me so long to make telephone calls. And so I just stopped I stopped calling people, and I just started doing addresses, right? Just writing. I was like, okay, I'm just going to write down all the addresses, and I'm going to write down all the telephone numbers, right? Well, that stopped me from calling people. And then I stopped following my schedule.
Right.
So instead of making 20 contacts yesterday, I only made 5.
Right.
No, I only made 6. I made 6 contacts yesterday. So now I'm 14 contacts behind. So now I have to make an extra 7 today and an extra 7 tomorrow.
Right.
And then I'm looking at my schedule today, and I have a lot of Zoom calls to be on today.
Yep.
And they're all like really good calls.
Right.
You know.
I know.
Like,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's just like I don't know which ones I can miss. I don't think I can miss any of them.
Yeah.
No, I got a 9:30. I got a 9:30 with my old Rainmaker in Florida. He has Gene Rivers on his office call. That's at 9:30. So that's going to go into the 10:30 when we have our lead generating guy coming on, the
Right.
master. And then after that, I have a 1:30 call with another broker that I'm talking to that I'm trying to get to come to KW. It's like, oh my gosh, like what, like how am I following a schedule when I'm not, like, how can I tell people to follow a schedule when I'm like, I'm going against my schedule?
Yeah, I know. I totally understand. And yesterday I had one of those days because Spectrum was here for 2 hours. And so I was doing some emails on some leads we got. We only had their email address. And next thing I know, it was 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yep.
So today, and I'm supposed to head out of town today. I'm helping a friend move once these storms pass. I thought I got a lot of phone calls to make, and we've got Zoom, 3 in a row.
Yesterday, just like, I don't know what happened yesterday. It just flew by.
It did.
Yesterday went so fast. I don't know how I lost control of my day yesterday.
But Richard, I think too, and me being the older person I am, I've had to learn that sometimes when I have days like that, so you've already got it mapped out. You're going to do 7 extra today, 7 extra tomorrow. You got to forgive yourself because life happens.
Oh, I mean, I had a good day yesterday.
Well,
I had a good day yesterday. It just got away from me. Like, I mean, I was in activities, but were they really activities that are income producing? Like, I mean, I was working on my business when I should have been working in my business.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I should have been working in my business instead of working. I mean, I know you're supposed to work on your business a lot.
Right.
And I got carried away with that. And the day just like got away from me like quickly. So I'm just looking at my schedule right now, at my calendar, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, okay, so after this, I'm going to be able to lead generate for 30 minutes. And then I'm not going to be able to lead generate again until probably like 2:00 today. So I'm going to have to lead gen from 2 to 5. And lead generating in the afternoon is so difficult.
It is. And that's if we don't have any bad weather.
Yeah, that's if my internet stays up. Which my internet has been so shoddy the last 3 weeks.
Well,
I think everybody's has.
What's
Tarsha,
up, Tasha?
You said y'all been having a lot of internet troubles too?
Yeah, we have, and it's hard on my son because they're back to e-learning this week.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's part of the reason I wasn't on the call yesterday, and the other reason was his Chromebook was like went out on him. So, but yeah, he has to move around the house to get a good connection. So.
Oh no! Like my internet completely goes out.
Oh wow!
It's not like when it's working, it's fast, but it's just completely going out.
Gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
What side of town do you live on?
I live on the southeast side of town. I live in St. Mark's Wood.
Oh, okay.
Off of Leesburg.
Okay.
Yeah. This is my neighborhood. Eric Simons moved in after I did. Yep.
Oh, you're so funny.
Yeah, so Eric Simon lives in my neighborhood. A girl from not EXP, another what company did she used to work at EXP? I don't know what company she works at now. And then an older agent from Coldwell Banker lives in my neighborhood. I can't remember her name right now. I have there's 4 agents that I know of live in my neighborhood.
Wow. Yeah.
And we only have 200 homes in my neighborhood. I'm like, I need to call them, and we need to like split up our neighborhood. Be like, okay, these are my homes, those are your homes.
Well, Bev Ryan lives in my neighborhood, and
okay.
she pretty much has it on lock.
Well, you need to get in there, Tarsha. Get
I'm
in there.
trying to figure it out. Not sure how.
Just I mean, what you can do now, just call. You can call, and you can, yeah, that pretty much calling right now, and send it and doing some mailers, things like that.
Yeah, I am working on the mailers. I just got a bunch of my note cards in, thank goodness. So I've been working on that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I just gotta come up. I was trying to come up with some mailer to, not, I don't know how to really word it yet. Just to let them know there's another agent in the neighborhood. So if you guys think of something, let me know.
I mean,
Here you go.
right now is the easiest time. Just call them and make care calls. Call
Yep.
the
Yeah.
neighborhood and just make care calls and just I mean, it's a great way to introduce yourself.
Yeah, but I wanted to get my face out there. The care calls, yeah, but if I do the mailers, I guess I could do both and follow up.
Yeah, if you do a
But
mailer and you don't make calls, the mailers are a waste of money.
Yeah.
true, yeah, true.
What is
I
it?
was just talking to an agent yesterday. They said they were like, dude, I mail out stuff all the time, but I don't get a lot of business from it. And I'm like, well, are you calling them? They're like,
Yeah.
no. And I'm like, that's why.
Exactly.
You have to pick up the phone and call people. You have to.
Yeah,
What is the old saying? One is never enough. Two is always good. Tasha, maybe down the road you could use that on your postcard or something.
Well, I mean, you read in the red book. In the red book, it says about mind share, and that's that's like the whole point. Right now is mind share. Is everybody knows a real estate agent, right? At least everybody knows a real estate agent, especially here in Columbia, right?
yes, that's true.
And most people can only remember two agents. You have to be one of the two agents,
Yep.
right? So you need to look at what market share that Bev has of the neighborhood, and you need to figure out what you need to do to be the second agent that people think about.
Yeah. I was also thinking about our
What
we
page
have
is that on?
we have
Let's try to.
our monthly newsletter,
Right.
and I think I'm just gonna just buy an ad in that newsletter too.
That'll work.
Because it's a e-newsletter, so people get to see it. So
Right.
yeah, and I'm trying to get a hold of a handbook, um, not a handbook. I'm sorry, a directory of the neighborhood, a updated directory. We've had so many people in and out now. It's crazy.
Well,
And
wouldn't your HOA have that?
yeah, they just changed that too. So that's it. But yeah, we've had like a lot of new people come in,
That's good.
and yeah, that is good. But I can say that she probably at one point, probably in the past, well, I'll say at least 5 to 10 years ago, it was all Bev selling. But now I'm seeing other agents in the neighborhood, other Woodlake, they only you can only use Woodlake sign, but I'm seeing other brokerages and everything in the neighborhood. So I'm not sure what happened in that little bit of time, but yeah, you don't see as many of hers as I used to. So I shouldn't say it's a good thing, but that goes to show that people are open to others now.
Well, it happens to the best of agents, right?
Yeah,
A lot
right.
of agents, especially when they have proven success, they get comfortable, right?
Yeah,
And then they don't, they're not hungry enough anymore, and they
right.
tend to slack on, the fundamental activities of contacting your neighborhood.
Yeah,
And if you slip, on making those, consistency. I heard yesterday. I mean, I heard I had my coaching call yesterday. I was listening to the Think Like a Boss podcast yesterday. I was listening to so much stuff yesterday, and I heard somewhere, it's not about one day of lead generating. right? It's about your whole career of lead generation. It's about the whole week. It's about the whole month. It's about the whole quarter, right? You can have one bad day of lead generating. If you let it turn into a week, if you let it turn into a month, if you let it turn into a quarter, then you're going to have some problems.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't matter how much market share you have if you're not consistently, in front of them.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I've even at times, if I had a mixed up day during the week and I didn't get any lead generation, then that Saturday I would lead generate just to try to stay on top.
Which is actually Saturdays is a good time sometimes because people, well, now everybody's home, but like
Right.
people are home, and you just be surprised. Or even Sundays, it's kind of like Sundays is a care call anyway, just
Right.
calling to check on you, and
Yeah.
you never know
It's-
who's like thinking or was thinking I might need to sell or I'm looking for a home. So yeah,
Yep.
it, I just try
love
to
that.
do some off days more every now and then. I try to do some days that you usually wouldn't do, like Saturdays and Sundays.
I love
Right.
this on page 62 in the MREA. The quote on the bottom left says, people need to stop wasting focus on what they could have done and focus on what they can change now.
Right. That makes sense.
I love that.
Very uplifting. Don't dwell on, what is it? Don't dwell on yesterday. Today, yesterday's the past. So yeah. Yep. Now that the mastermind's at 10, right?
10 or 10:30.
All right, I need to go and check.
I hope it's at 10:30 because I'm not missing any of Gene Rivers at 9:30.
I want to say it was at 10. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is at 10:30.
Maybe I'm hoping it's 10:30. I don't know.
I think it's 10.
Well, I might be late on that. So
That's okay. I'll try to take good notes.
tell Matt not to kill me.
Oh, I will, yeah, because I need to go get myself packed if I'm gonna leave to go help this friend move. So, and I don't want to miss the mastermind.
I'm trying to find where it talks about in the MREA where it talks about people can think. I used to remember the page where it talks about people can remember two agents. It was really good.
Kind of like the toothpaste.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. If you see it and hear it enough, then that just comes second nature. It's just like in your head.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like if you are not touching your neighborhood or your database or your farm area enough to where you have people saying, okay, you don't need to contact me this much. You're not contacting them enough.
Yeah.
Like it really hit me. I was talking to Matt a few months ago, and I was complaining about losing something and lost a listing, and he's like, well, when was the last time you talked to them? And I was like, well, I call them once a quarter and I send them a monthly newsletter. He's like, so you talk to them, that's 12 plus 4, that's 16. So 16 times in a year, when there's 52 weeks in a year, you're not even contacting them half of the year.
Right.
He's like, they're not even thinking about you. You think you're calling them a lot, but you're really not.
He basically told me the same thing. I had just talked to a former teacher friend on January 30th. And on February 2nd, no, March 2nd, their house went on the market. and it wasn't me.
Yep.
So I've got her scheduled to meet with her and find out what I did not do. And it's at least it's with the Keller Williams agent. So, because she always says, I'll refer you if we ever decide to move.
Yep. I
Yeah,
can't
I
tell
hear
you how
that a
many
lot,
times I
too.
hear that and then lose the business.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear that a lot too. Yeah.
So I need to know what I didn't do. You know, I can accept constructive criticism.
Yeah, my role play partner, she texted me the other day. She's like, my dadgum neighbor listed their house with somebody that has sold like not a lot of homes, and she sent them a text message because she talks to this neighbor all the time about real estate, and he sends his neighbor this agent's stats, and he's like, why did you list with this agent? And he's like, it's my niece. He's like, it's my niece. And she's like, oh crap. Now I feel horrible.
Well, you know, you have to be careful with that.
Yeah, because there are a lot of new agents out there, so you don't want to like offend.
Mhm.
Hey, what's considered new? Less than 3 months, less than 6 months, less than a year, less than 2 years?
What do you mean new?
I don't know. I would probably say less than a certain number of transactions, but I don't know what that number is.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Sorry I'm late.
You're
What's up, buddy?
fine.
Hey.
We've been doing good.
Hey, Richard, I was gonna tell you two things. One, you have a box of Mungo cookies sitting on your desk in your cube.
Oh, the really good cookies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't know. I've actually walked by them a couple times. I keep meaning to text you every time I leave there, and I wind up getting like a phone call or something and forgetting to tell you. But you don't know how often I've been like, man, I could just take those cookies and Richard would never even.
Too funny, Matt. Too funny.
So yeah, they're there. And then second thing is I've got a meeting scheduled with one Mr. Kyle and Catherine.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I think we schedule it. It's either Monday or Tuesday next week. I can't remember which day. Yeah.
Somebody's happy.
Dude, Kyle and Catherine Zeller. I don't know if y'all have ever done a deal with them. They are awesome. Like Kyle and Kat, they are really cool people. Like they would be like, I know if a Lexington office opens up, it won't be from us. It'll be a business center from 684. But man, they would be an awesome foundation for a Lexington office. Like they are awesome.
That is not a guaranteed thing, by the way.
I was going to say, why would it be 684?
Well, that's good. I mean, that's just what I've heard. But
Yeah,
man, they are awesome.
It just depends on who has more Lexington agents. It
Gotcha.
may actually there's actually a model where it could open up and be half us and half them.
Ah.
Dude, they are like they are some of my favorite people. Like Kyle is such a cool dude. He would be amazing to be at KW.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's their last name? I don't think I've ever.
Zellers with the Z, Zellers. They pretty much just sell like the Lexington. They live out like close to Beechwood Middle School. Yeah, they used to live on the lake. They just sold their lake house and to downsize. They're just a great couple. Great agents. They just got into the business, like, and they're kicking ass. Like they just got into the business, like,
Wow.
3 years ago.
Yeah, they did like 5 million combined last year.
Wow.
Jeepers. Good for them.
Yeah, I set 3 really good appointments yesterday.
Well,
with agents.
show a little enthusiasm.
Yeah, I got it. I've been talking to like 3-4 agents in the Columbia market, really trying to pour into them and get them to come over. But the problem is one's at JP and Associates,
Not a problem.
and the other one's at Medley.
Also not a problem.
Yeah,
Have I talked to them yet?
I don't think so.
Well, that's a problem.
I'm working on grooming them. I'm not trying to give you a cold lead.
If you've talked to them, it's a warm lead.
Okay.
Because the thing is, I've probably already talked to them. You know, like one way or another, I probably talked to them, and so
I'm sure you've talked to one of them.
What'd you say?
I'm sure you have talked to one of them.
Yeah. So if I've already been talking to them, it's just an extra thing I can talk to them about that they're talking to you, and
Right.
it's an extra icebreaker I can talk to them about. But that's what I'm trained to do, you know. So let me do your work for you. You go sell houses.
All right. Sounds good. So how did this I don't want to take over this call, but how did the Kyle and Catherine thing take place?
They were just on my list of people to follow up with. So because I'd talked to them a couple times and they're never very open to meeting, but it's like right now it's a good time. It's a time to